It's Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Your name is Alex. You don't move right away. You just listen. The screen lights up your tired face in the dark. Your thumb moves on muscle memory. Instagram first. A flash of perfect lives. You feel a familiar, hollow ping somewhere behind your ribs. It's not jealousy, exactly. For years, I followed the script. You know the one. Get a good job, save every penny, climb the corporate ladder, and eventually, maybe, you'll be happy. I was obsessed with my savings rate, my investment portfolio, and the perfectly curated image of success. I was doing everything right, but I felt completely trapped. It was like being in a gilded cage I had built myself, one spreadsheet at a time. The more I tried to optimize my life for financial freedom, the more I felt my actual freedom slipping away. I remember my friend Jordan. In college, he was the master of looking successful. He had the expensive watch, the perfectly tailored suits, the confident handshake that seemed to seal deals before he even spoke. He landed a high-paying job right out of school, and on paper, he was the embodiment of everything we were told to strive for. But when we'd grab a coffee, the mask would slip. He'd confess how empty he felt, how the pressure to maintain this persona was crushing him. He was living a life that looked great on Instagram but felt hollow in reality. His story was a huge wake-up call for me. I saw myself heading down the same path, chasing a version of success that wasn't even mine. The turning point came during a particularly brutal week at work. I was staring at a complex financial model, my eyes glazing over, and a thought hit me like a lightning bolt. What am I actually building? I was building someone else's dream. I was a highly paid cog in a massive machine, and my entire identity was tied to my job title and my net worth. If I lost my job, who would I be? The thought terrified me. I realized that true wealth isn't just about the numbers in your bank account. It's about freedom, purpose, and owning your time. That evening, I did something that went against every piece of financial advice I had ever followed. I took a portion of my meticulously saved emergency fund and invested it not in stocks or bonds, but in myself. I stopped agonizing over whether a latte would derail my retirement and started thinking about what skills I could build, what problems I could solve. It was a huge mental shift. I went from a scarcity mindset, focused on cutting and saving, to an abundance mindset, focused on creating and building. I started small. I bought a course on digital marketing, something I had always been curious about. I spent my evenings and weekends learning, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I started a small side project, a blog where I shared my journey of redefining success. It wasn't about making money at first. It was about creating something that was entirely mine. The feeling was incredible. For the first time in years, I felt a spark of genuine excitement, a sense of purpose that my day job could never provide. Of course, it wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt. My friends thought I was crazy for risking my savings. My family questioned why I would add more work to my already busy schedule. The old me, the one obsessed with security and predictability, screamed at me to stop and go back to the safety of my spreadsheets. It's a constant battle to unlearn years of conditioning that tells you the only safe path is the one everyone else is on. But then, small wins started to happen. Someone would email me to say my blog post helped them. I landed my first freelance client. These moments weren't about the money. They were proof that I could create value on my own terms. The income from my side projects started to grow, slowly at first, and then with more momentum. It wasn't just about the extra cash. It was about building a safety net that I controlled. This wasn't a corporate salary that could disappear with one bad quarter. This was something I was building with my own 2 hands. I started looking at money differently. It was no longer a score to be hoarded, but a tool to be used. A tool to buy back my time, to invest in new skills, to experiment with new ideas. I stopped seeing a $5 coffee as a financial sin and started seeing it as an opportunity to sit in a new environment and brainstorm ideas for my next project. This shift from pinching pennies to investing in possibilities changed everything. It reframed my entire relationship with money and work. What I've learned is that the traditional path to success is a trap for many of us. It forces you to trade your best years, your creativity, and your soul for a steady paycheck and the illusion of security. It encourages you to build an identity around your job, which is a fragile foundation for a happy life. Real security doesn't come from a W-2. It comes from having skills that are in demand, from building a network of people who trust you, and from creating multiple streams of income that you control. Today, my life looks very different. I'm no longer just a financial analyst. I'm a writer, a marketer, a creator, a business owner. I'm still building, and it's still hard work, but it's my work. The fear is still there sometimes, but it's overshadowed by a deep sense of purpose and excitement for what's next. I didn't have to quit my job overnight. I just had to start. I had to stop obsessing over saving my way to freedom and start building my way there instead. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're following the script but feeling empty, I want you to ask yourself, what are you building? Are you building someone else's dream, or are you building your own? Don't be afraid to take a small step in a new direction. Buy that course. Start that blog. Learn that skill. Stop pinching pennies and start investing in yourself. It's the best investment you will ever make. It's not about being reckless. It's about recognizing that the biggest risk is spending your life building a version of success that leaves you feeling hollow. Your freedom is waiting for you on the other side of that fear. Go build it. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on building a life on your own terms. See you in the next one. We confuse consuming the lifestyle of success with actually building success. In mental space, think about the last time you posted a picture of your amazing brunch. The villain here isn't you. It's not laziness. It's not even the companies selling you stuff. So what's the way out? If the problem is that we're buying an identity, he'd work from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. 3 nights a week, from his couch, in his sweatpants. The performance is heavy. The truth is light. The trap is believing you need the costume to start the play. You don't. You just need to know your lines and be brave enough to say them in an empty room, long before the crowd ever shows up. That spark of curiosity you felt yesterday, it's still there. It's warmer now. It's asking the next question, the question that could change everything. What is one real skill you have right now that someone, somewhere, would pay for? Not later, not when you have a better website, but right now. Hold that question. Don't answer it yet. Just let it sit with you. Feel its weight. It's not a rock for your backpack. It's a tool, and it's yours. The question from the train ride wouldn't leave you alone. What is one real skill you have right now that someone, somewhere, would pay for? It became a background hum in your brain, like the refrigerator in your apartment. Always there. It's Friday evening, March 14th. Payday came and went. You paid the credit card, minimum. You transferred a little to savings. You ordered Thai food and felt a flicker of that old guilt. Now you're on your couch, the blue light of your laptop screen, the only light in the room. The city sounds are a distant soundtrack outside your window. Honking laughter from a bar down the street. The rhythmic thump of bass from a passing car. You're not scrolling. You're staring at a blank search bar. Your fingers are resting on the keys, cold and hesitant. For the last week, you've been turning the question over in your mind. You're a strategist. You organize chaos. You see patterns in data. You can make a confusing idea look simple and beautiful on a slide deck. That's your skill. But who needs that outside of your job right now? An idea had whispered to you, something so simple it felt almost stupid. Your apartment. It's 450 square feet. You have that one closet, the tall, deep one by the door, that you basically use for out-of-season coats and a suitcase. What if you rented the space? Not to a roommate, but to stuff, to inventory. You'd read a passing comment online about people using storage apps to rent out their extra space. It feels small, unsexy. It feels like the absolute opposite of the digital nomad or AI whisperer identity you're supposed to crave. It's logistical, physical. It involves other people's boxes. Your inner critic is having a field day. This is beneath you. You have a degree. You're a senior strategist. You're going to be a closet landlord. What if your date comes over and sees boxes labeled organic cat toys in your hallway? This isn't building an empire. It's running a mini-storage. The resistance is real. It feels like a wall in your chest. You take a deep breath. The air in your apartment smells like the lemongrass from the Thai food and the faint, dusty smell of the radiator. You remember Jordan, working from 2 a.m. in his sweatpants. That wasn't glamorous either. It was just real. So you type it in. Apps to rent storage space. You hit enter. The results flood in. One name pops up, clean and professional. Flex. It's a platform that connects businesses who need temporary warehouse space with people who have, well, space. You click. You start reading. It explains the process. You list your space. You describe it. You set security rules. You get requests. You approve them. They drop off. You store. They pick up. You get paid. Your heart is doing a funny, fluttery thing. It's part anxiety, part something else. A tiny, electric thread of possibility. You click Become a Host. It asks for your address. You pause. This is the line. Once you type this in, you're not just thinking about it. You're doing it. You can feel your pulse in your fingertips. You type your address on North Damen Avenue. The website automatically pulls up a map. There's your building, a little dot in Chicago. It asks you to describe the space. You get up, walk to the closet, and open the door. The hinge squeaks. You turn on the light. It's about 4 feet wide and 8 feet deep. It's empty except for 3 coats hanging limply and your suitcase on the floor. You take a picture with your phone. The flash goes off, harsh and bright, illuminating every dust particle in the air. It looks like a closet. Not impressive, not shiny. You upload the picture. You write a description, your professional skills kicking in. Secured, indoor, residential closet space in clean Wicker Park apartment. Ideal for small batch inventory, document storage, or sample products. Climate controlled. Climate controlled, that's just your apartment's heat and AC, but it sounds good. You set the price. The site suggests a range. You pick a number in the middle, $1.50 per cubic foot per month. You do the quick math in your head. Your closet is about 256 cubic feet. That's $384 a month. Your breath catches. That's not life-changing, but it's real. It's your electric bill and your Wi-Fi. It's the difference between sweating a surprise expense and shrugging it off. You list the availability. You can start Monday. You click through the terms. There's a lot of legal language. Your brain tries to panic. What if they store something illegal? What if it breaks? What if... You take another breath. The platform has insurance. There are rules. This isn't the Wild West. It's a marketplace. Your cursor hovers over the final button. Publish listing. This is the moment. This is the crack in the wall. This tiny, unglamorous, completely actionable step. It doesn't require a new skill. It doesn't require you to look cool. It just requires you to say yes to using what you already have, differently. You click. The screen spins for a second. Then a green check mark appears. Your space is now live. Nothing happens. The room is silent. You half expect confetti to fall from your ceiling, but there's just the hum of your laptop and that distant bass beat from outside. You feel a little anticlimactic, a little silly. You just listed your closet on the internet. Big deal. You close the laptop. You go to bed. The whole thing feels like a strange dream. Saturday passes. You check the app a few times. No notifications. The doubt creeps back in. See? No one wants your dumb closet. You almost delete the listing twice. Your finger hovers over the deactivate button. It's a warm orange button. It promises relief from this feeling of vulnerability, but you don't click it. Sunday morning, you're making coffee. Your phone, face down on the counter, buzzes. Not your normal text buzz, a different, lower thrum. It's the Flex app. You pick it up, your hand a little slick. It's a booking request. A local company that makes eco-friendly yoga mats. They need to store 15 boxes of a new line while they wait for their own warehouse space to open up in April. They want to drop off on Tuesday. They want to store for 6 weeks. You stare at the request. The company name. The contact person. Maya. It's real. A real business with a real need. Found your little dot on the map. You have to accept or decline within 24 hours. The old anxiety surges. Can you do this? What if you're not home? What if... You open the message thread. You type, "Hi Maya, I can accept this. What time on Tuesday works for you?" You sound professional. You send it. An hour later, she replies, 2 p.m. works great. We'll have a driver with a dolly. Thanks so much. And just like that, you have a client. Not a boss, a client for your closet. Tuesday arrives. At 1:55 p.m., you're nervously straightening the coats you moved to your bedroom. Your apartment has never felt so small. The buzzer rings, a harsh electric sound that makes you jump. You press the intercom. Hello? Delivery for Flex Storage. You let them in. You hear the heavy tread of boots on the stairs, the bump of a dolly. There's a knock. You open the door. A friendly driver in a uniform is there with a stack of 5 boxes on a hand truck. They're neat, brown cardboard, sealed with tape. Each one is labeled with a product code and Sustainamat. Just these 5 today, the driver says. 5 more tomorrow, 5 Thursday. That's the 15. Perfect, you say, your voice surprisingly steady. You show him the closet. He wheels them in, stacks them neatly. It takes 3 minutes. He hands you a digital signature pad. You sign with your finger. He gives you a copy of the receipt. Have a good one. And he's gone. You close your door. You lean against it. You look at the 5 boxes sitting there in your closet where your suitcase used to be. They don't look like much, but they feel like everything. This is the microscopic victory. It's not a viral post. It's not a promotion. It's 5 boxes in a closet. But it's a crack in the universe. You just turned empty space into an asset. You used a platform to connect a need with what you had. No one gave you permission. You didn't ask for a raise. You just set it up. The other 10 boxes arrive over the next 2 days. Each time the process is smoother. You're no longer nervous. You're efficient. You're the manager of Alex's closet storage. It has a ring to it. 2 weeks go by. The boxes just sit there. You walk past them every day. They are a silent, rectangular monument to a different way of thinking. Then, on a Thursday morning, March 27th, you get an email. It's from Flex. Your first payout is being processed. You click. There's a breakdown. 6 weeks of storage for 15 boxes. The yoga mats are gone. Picked up last week. Your closet is empty again, just a faint scuff mark on the floor where the boxes sat for 6 weeks. You got your final payout. That $1,217 is now a real number in your savings account. Not just a notification. It feels like a solid little stone in your pocket you can always touch. But here's the thing no one tells you about that first win. The silence after is loud. It's a Tuesday. The thrill has faded. The closet is just a closet. Your regular job is still there, with its Zooms and its spreadsheets. That old anxious feeling starts to creep back in around the edges. Was that it? A one-time fluke? A lucky break with some yoga mats? The voice is back, whispering that maybe you should just be happy with what you got and go back to normal. This is the daily war, not the exciting beginning and not the glorious ending. This is the muddy, unglamorous middle. This is where real change is built, or where it dies quietly. You realize that making one crack in the wall isn't enough. You have to widen it, deliberately, every single day, or it will just seal back up. You need a process. Not a grand, life-changing plan, but a simple set of actions so small that you can't possibly talk yourself out of doing them. So you build your new daily routine. You do it slowly, adding one thing at a time, like building a Lego tower. Action 1. The 6:05 a.m. asymmetry. You set your alarm for 6 amsk. You get up. You make your coffee. But instead of opening Instagram at 6:05, you open a freelance platform. You created a simple profile, highlighting your strategy skills. You heard about asymmetric earning, using the time zone difference to your advantage. At 6:05 a.m. in Chicago, it's lunchtime in Europe. You spend just 25 minutes scrolling through project listings from startups in Berlin, Lisbon, Barcelona. You look for small gigs. Need a one-page marketing strategy? Help organizing a launch timeline. You send one, just one, short proposal. You do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's not stressful. It's a quiet hunt. The light from your screen mixes with the dawn light coming through your blinds, turning everything a soft, cool blue. Action 2. The 11:30 a.m. check-in. A calendar alert pops up. Digital land. That's what you call your storage side hustle now. For 8 minutes, you open the app. You check for new booking requests. You message back a potential client who has questions about humidity. You assure them your apartment is dry. You take a new, better photo of the empty closet with the light on. It's maintenance. It's tending your tiny garden. It feels less like a chore and more like being a good steward of your own asset. Action 3. The 3 p.m. liquidity harvest. This one felt weird at first. You got a rewards credit card that lets you pay rent and earn points. So every month you pay your $1,850 rent with this card. You immediately, the same day, pay off the card with the money from your checking account that was always meant for rent. You're not spending more, you're just routing the payment. The points add up, and then, because you did your research, you know you can transfer those points to partners like airlines, or, more importantly for you, to a program that converts them to mortgage down payment credits at a 1.5x rate. You spend 3 minutes a day just tracking the points, learning the transfer rules. It feels like a game, a boring, adult, incredibly lucrative game. You're harvesting value from a fixed expense you were already paying. It's invisible money, made visible. Action 4. The 7 p.m. loophole learning. After dinner, you give yourself 12 minutes. You read one thing, not a motivational blog, a dry, boring, powerful document. One day it's a financial ruling about new micro-investing platforms. Another day it's an IRS ruling about hobby income. Another day it's the city's updated rules about commercial activity in residential zones. Your eyes glaze over sometimes. The legal language is thick, but you highlight sentences you don't understand and look them up. You're not studying to be a lawyer. You're studying the rulebook of the game you're now playing. You're looking for the edges of the board. Action 5. The 9:45 p.m. victory log. This is the most important one. You open a simple Google sheet. It has 2 columns. The left column is date and net worth. You have a formula that adds up all your accounts, minus your debts. The right column is for notes. Not felt good today. Specifics. Sent EU proposal. Closed second closet booking for $425 a month. Transferred 5,000 points. Read IRS publication 525 on hobby versus business. Every night, you update the number and write one note. The graph of your net worth is a shaky line. Some days it dips, but the overall direction, over weeks, is slowly tilting upwards. Of course, there are setbacks. They aren't dramatic. They're just annoying. A client cancels a gig. A new building rule might threaten your storage hustle. A rewards program changes its terms. But because you have a system of small daily actions, no single setback can derail you. You're not relying on one big win anymore. You're relying on the process. The yoga mats were the first tiny door you opened. It led to a small amount of money, but more importantly, it led to this, a new way of operating, a disciplined, daily pursuit of small advantages. The closet is empty again, but you aren't. You have the knowledge, the process, and the first $1,200, and you have the only question that matters now. What's the next tiny door? What's yours? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if this helped, don't forget to subscribe.